Cohabitating Part 4. When not to live together. Okay, I've laid out a number of scenarios where cohabitation makes sense. But there are a number of situations that people get into where they are deluding themselves that living together is a good idea. This can permanently harm their chances of marrying the other person and can be emotionally destructive as well. Don't look at cohabitation as a trial marriage. Living together in order to figure out if you are compatible enough to marry may seem logical, but it doesn't work out that way. If it did, people who cohabited before they got married would have more successful marriages. As it turns out, people who live together before marriage tend to go on to marry other people, not each other. Also, cohabitation success doesn't guarantee a happy or successful marriage. Couples who live together before marriage get divorced at a slightly higher rate than couples who don't. Living together lacks many of the advantages of being married, but it has many of the disadvantages. Marriage conveys a certain status on you. Your family will have to accept the other person. There is still some stigma about living together in some sectors of the society. There is a sexist perspective that if the man really loved the woman, he would marry her. Other women may think that if a man isn't married, he's still on the market. Another, more practical, consideration is that when you are married, you have community property and assets. When you are living together, buying things can be more difficult. You may have more trouble buying a house or car together because creditors will see you as a risk, because if you break up, the bill will be left dangling. If your goal is marriage, keep in mind that your partner will see you at your worst, and vice versa. This may not be the best way to entice someone to go to the altar with you. Finally, many partners start to take each other for granted when they begin to live together. You can have sex anytime, so why do it tonight? You can drift apart emotionally and sexually while living under one roof. When your relationship goals differ. If one partner actually wants to get married rather than just living together, he or she usually becomes frustrated and resentful at the situation over time. This usually leads to the relationship's demise. If you want to get married and have children, but your partner is not of the same mind, then living together only delays the inevitable breakup. Your partner is unlikely to change his or her mind in the near future, and you are passing up other potential partners who do want to get married. Keep in mind that women have a biological clock. They can only have children until a certain time in their lives and are generally recommended to have them before they turn 35. A woman in her early 30s may be pushing for marriage. Her cohabitating boyfriend may not understand her need to settle down and nest. A woman over the age of 30 who wants to have children in the context of a marriage should not cohabitate without a firm wedding date. And a man who wants to have children should not continue a relationship indefinitely with a woman who is reaching her biological time clock.